Welcome everyone to Ferrum Football First and 10. I am your host, Jordan Mann, and with me as always, Coach Rob Grande. Coach.
Hey, Jordan, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Ferrum had a heartbreaking loss this past weekend on homecoming, losing 31-28 against Huntingdon. Give you a game recap here. The first Ferrum possession, Jordan Mann rushed on a 3rd and 10 nonetheless, 83 yards, and it capped off the drive with a 5-yard touchdown run. Coach, what was your mindset? What was your thoughts after giving up the defense? Huntingdon scores first, but Mann comes through on a 3rd and 10 and then breaks that one open for 83 yards.
Sure. Well, our defense has been real good on opening possessions, getting people 3 and out, and they converted a long 3rd down. Quarterback extended a play, which kept their drive moving. And when they do score in that opener, you want to try to respond and put points on the board. And certainly the big run on 3rd down that Brian had to flip the field and then obviously cap it off with a touchdown was a big swing to tie the game up early.
Yep, and like I said, it was a big run by Mann, and most defenses throughout the season so far have really stacked the box against him, so it was really nice to see that he could finally break one free and seemed to get a little stress off his shoulders. He ended up having a big game for the Panthers.
It did, and that was the biggest play of the day, obviously, but overall, the line's been working at it and the perimeter guys, and Brian's been productive for us and a little bit less traction that he's had than last year, but he's nonetheless a dynamic player and came up big on that drive.
Now, after the Ferrum tied it up 7-7, Chip Taylor threw a 34-yard touchdown pass to Chance Bird to make it 14-7, and then Huntingdon got the ball back later and made it 17-7 after a 22-yard field goal, and with 3:10 left in the half, Clifford found Johnny White, who's had a great season so far for Ferrum, for a 51-yard touchdown. What was your thoughts about that?
Well, obviously, down by 10 in the second quarter, and trying to again get back into the game with the score, and Zach made a good platform throw and had to adjust with Johnny came free down the sideline and made a good connection. But you're right, Johnny's been a dynamic player for 4 games and been a good target for Zach, and real happy with what he's done thus far this season.
And with after that, Huntingdon came back with about 25 seconds left for half to go up 24-14, and then a little mess up by Ferrum with the fumble of the kickoff, but luckily for the Panthers it resulted in 0 points.
Yeah, obviously within 2 minutes of the half or game, you preach about not giving points up, and that score was something that stung because we cut it to 3, and then they came back right before half, and then to compound that on the ensuing kickoff with a good play by their player to strip the ball from Austin. Got to do better with ball security, but defense came up big with a little bit of time on the clock to take a sudden change after you just give up a touchdown. It can be deflating, but they shored it up, and we went to halftime down by 10. And
then came out of the second half, got it inside the red zone, but decided to go for it on 4th and 10 and rather than kick a field goal. What was the mindset behind that?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors, a lot of time left in the game,
Sure.
And I felt like touchdowns were more needed as not knowing what was going to happen the rest of the half than kicking a field goal, which was kind of right on our range of where I'm comfortable putting our guys out there. And just a decision we made, and we moved forward, and that's didn't work out for us on that particular play. So,
well, after that, it was a big interception by Kendall Bell to give Ferrum the ball back. Still a 2-possession game, 24-14 in the 3rd quarter. And that set up the 53-yard touchdown from Clifford and Nick Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
And so, turnovers can change the momentum of a game, and Bell came up big for the Panthers. So it made it 24-21, and a couple possessions later, Chip Taylor scored from 9 yards out to make it 31-21 to go with 10:48 to go in the 4th quarter. Then Ferrum scored with 1 minute and 11 seconds left by Sam Martin to go up 31-28. But Huntingdon College recovered the onside kick by Ferrum. It was an illegal touching. Was the call on the field?
That's what was called by the back judge, and certainly didn't agree with the call at the time, and I still don't. But it was the call, and we got to live with it, and we got to move on to North Carolina Wesleyan.
Yes, sir. So the final would be 31-28, but a couple stats for you is Clifford did throw for 285 yards and 2 touchdowns, threw 1 interception. Mann, like I said, had a big game. He had 167 rushing yards with a touchdown that long of 83 yards. Johnny White had 6 catches for 109 yards, a touchdown with Nick Pierce, 2 catches, 66 yards, and TD. And then for the defense did have a good game, though. 11 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, an interception, and 5 pass breakups. I mean, that's still all around a solid day. Nothing more than you can ask for with your defense. I know causing havoc, too, as well.
Yeah, they battled as they've done for 4 weeks, and our guys have played hard. And just last 2 weeks, there's a few plays out on the field that we just didn't make, and Averett and Huntingdon did, and that's why they won the games. But there's no problem with our effort. We just got to do a better job coaching and putting our guys in a good position to make plays, and we got to do it again this week against a good North Carolina Wesleyan team.
To go off of that, this is Ferrum's first conference road game of the season at NC Wesleyan. Wesleyan comes in 1-3, and what's the game plan going into NC West, Coach?
Score 1 more point than they do. That's something we haven't done the last 2 weeks, and don't know how that's going to happen, but we're working at it, and that's the mystery of the game and why we're heading down there. But guys are having a good week of practice. Got a big Wednesday practice tonight. It's a big work day for us, and got to get a good travel plan together, and like I said, go down and play a well-balanced team that's had a tough slate to start the first 4 weeks. They've not shied away from competition, and got a big win last week against Maryville, which has been a top of our conference for the last 4 or 5 years. So that'll tell you what type of team we're facing.
Yeah, they beat Maryville 35-25, and looking forward to Ferrum coming in and still in a road game at NC West. So Ferrum fans, Ferrum alums, please come out to Rocky Mount, North Carolina, where Ferrum faces NC Wesleyan. Coach, thank you.
All right, Jordan.